What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Witchcraft. This is episode 9, if you guys can believe that. We've been just charging along with this, talking about different things here and there. It's been amazing so far. And next week, holy hell, we actually reach episode 10.
I can't believe it.
That's huge. Yeah, that is awesome. So we've been almost doing this for 10 weeks already. It's not week 9. So awesome. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I know we're still kind of moving along. We're still kind of getting some traction here, but hey, we're getting there. So
and we have a lot of episodes available on YouTube now that people can watch.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I am Tequila Joe, joined once again by our leader, Gwen of Avalon Visions. Thank you, Gwen, for actually making this happen. This has been super fun. It's been amazing. So
it is really fun. Really is.
Why don't you tell us what's going on with the shop coming up with Avalon Visions? Let us know what you got coming up.
Oh, we have a bunch of classes. If you go up to avalonvisions.com, you can find all of our classes. And a lot of readings happening. And then on the second Sunday of the month, which is 2 weeks from now, we're going to have, so on September 14th, we're going to have our next outside psychic and healing arts fair. So that's going to be cool. I think we have a few different events coming up. We have our weekly tarot class on Thursday nights, or is it bi-week? It might be every other week, but that's up on Meetup. So if you want our full calendar, you can go up to meetup.com and you can see all of the things that we're going to be doing. I know that we have a few things coming up in October too. I have to actually, you know what? I should probably check my schedule, but definitely check your schedule, because if I don't know, how are you going to know, right? And I might need to know. But
here's the beauty of it. Here's the beauty of it, that you have to check the schedule because you have so many things coming up, not because the schedule is actually empty. So
no, it's my head that's empty.
Yeah, well, I mean,
there you go.
I've been to a few of the events right there at Avalon Visions. It's wonderful. If you guys are not doing the outdoor market once a month, if you guys can come in for any of the classes, any of the stuff that Gwen has going on, it's amazing. It's very intimate. It's got a very intimate little setting, so it's perfect. You don't have
I know what we're doing that I forgot. We're doing the Keep On class on Wednesdays in the afternoon, and we're doing a Reiki. Let's see. Wait, I'm in August. I found my schedule because I went up to meetup.com. So we're doing an unclogging your pipeline to God, swear to God. That's on September 5th on a Saturday, and it's 3 weeks in a row on Saturdays. So those are important classes, because the lady that teaches those ran the Palo Alto School of Hypnotherapy for quite a while, and she is she's just off this world. She's great. Catherine Athens runs that, and if you haven't taken one of her classes, you should look her up. So she's worthwhile listening to. She's not about witchcraft. She's more metaphysical, spiritual, but she knows how to teach.
More of the light workers kind of
I should have remembered. I knew it was coming up. I just couldn't think of the name of the class. But I went up to meetup.com, logged in Avalon Visions, and there it is, right there.
Perfect. So, all right. Sounds good. There's always something going on. If you guys haven't gone for the aura readings, the Gwen, you've got the camera. You can do all that really neat stuff. I know you've taken that to PantheaCon. I don't think you've taken it to Hexenfest,
I
but
never took
definitely.
it to PantheaCon because I always never remembered to sign up for it a year ahead of time.
Okay. Okay.
So I went to PantheaCon a
Understood.
couple of times,
Yes.
but I decided that was the one that I got to take time off and just wander around and look at other people's booths. But I took
Okay.
it to
Gotcha.
lots and lots. And in fact, I'm going to be going in the end of September to the Soul Search Expo in Scotts Valley, and I'll be there reading auras with Guy Coggins, who invented that stuff, and his friends. So we're going to be three of us in the booth, and I'll be reading the.
Awesome.
Oh, well, I guess we're going to be reading the printouts. So.
All right. So that's what's going on. And now we are going to go into something that doesn't really get talked about, but something that is actually just kind of under the skin of any practitioner that comes along. I don't care who you are, you tend to wonder about it. Are you doing the right thing? Are you actually
Ethical?
Going about it the pretty much going about it the right way? Do you have the, I hate to say the permission, but do you have the wherewithal to actually carry it out properly? And that is leading us to the grand picture, the big picture, which is cultural appropriation, especially in our case when it comes to witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
We want to talk about like what it actually means. I mean, well, I'll say that detail for a little bit, but you want to think about, are you actually involving yourself with something that comes from a different culture? How does that feel? Is that okay? How does that present itself? Is that okay? And like as I put it before, consent is sexy. Consent is actually very important when it comes to the practice of doing what you do. Now, what happens when it goes wrong? What happens if you're doing it correctly? That's our topic for tonight. So, if you guys don't know yet, and you probably don't because I don't speak about it much, I am officially Mexican indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that I affiliate myself with the Mexican culture? Absolutely the hell not. You guys that know me.
If you wanted
You guys
to.
that know me.
Yeah.
I do not wear the cowboy boots. I do not wear the super skinny jeans. I do not wear plaid. I certainly do not wear a big cowboy hat. I do not listen to Vicente Fernandez. I do not listen to like any of the banda stuff. Okay.
Hey, I like mariachi bands, and I didn't say that right. I think.
Okay. Yes. But does that negate my actual culture?
No.
No, it does not. Because the thing with me, and those of you that actually know me, I kind of skip over that stereotype. I connect to the ancestors, the ones that are pre-Columbian. So if you guys want to know where I come from personally and how I connect to the craft, I am actually descended from the Purepecha tribe of indigenous people from Mexico. Am I technically Mexican? Yes, I am. That's why I'm this brown. You see it. So.
And I'm not. That's why I'm this white.
So.
I'm pretty white. There you go.
Do I connect with the Mexican culture on some levels? Just a few, but I am more affiliated with the actual indigenous culture that was there hundreds of years before. So, do I speak their language? Not yet. Do I know their customs? Some of them. Am I able to speak on the gentrification of my own culture? am I able to speak personally, on a personal level, on the happenings of indigenous cultures throughout history? Yes, I'm able to speak on that. Can I speak on the fact that the colonizing people that came in, where they actually took in the children from those tribes, took in all of that culture, took in everything that was there, and tried to slip it under the rug or sweep it under the rug, as I say? Yes. Am
They
I allowed
tried
to
to
speak on that?
Christianize it so that
Yes.
and built on sacred sites, and
That
they
is
did that all
correct.
over Europe too, to my
Correct.
ancestors who were Celts.
So, uh, just so that you guys know a little bit more about me, that this is where I come from as far as the culture. Now, that being said, how am I using my own gifts, my own practice, and how is it okay that I work with deities such as Hecate, such as Odin, such as the Morrigan?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the topic. Okay, that's the topic for this week. Where is it okay to cross the cultures? Where is it not okay to assimilate or actually bring forth images of the cultures that are not fully accurate? That's what we're talking about today. Because I personally, as a Mexican indigenous person, had difficulty understanding and accepting that particular deities wanted to work with me. Because when I first started, I did not feel worthy. I did not feel worthy of it. I did not feel like I belonged. Even going to VenteaCon, I felt like I was a fish out of water there. Not
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie, I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the people. Uh, I enjoyed all the rooms, but most of the rooms. But was it still there? Was there still that feeling of, do I really belong here? Am I doing this properly? Uh, what's it going to be like when somebody finds out I work with this deity? Is that going to be okay? Is that going to be accepted? And I mean, thankfully, I've had that really beautiful fortune and blessing that anyone that I've spoken to has said, that is amazing. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that it's always the case. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be that one person that says, well, this is my culture. Why are you trying to get into it? So, so that's where we are this week. So, where is it okay and where is it not? So,
And
when what
I
else?
want to state that I think I sell sage, and I grow rosemary,
Mm-hmm.
because rosemary will do the same thing as sage. You dip it in water and you can do water blessing. You can burn it. You can eat it. I've had people say, you shouldn't sell sage. It's cultural appropriation. Well, I think
Mm-hmm.
okay, if my ancestors who were quite indigenous and very close to the earth prior to the Romans taking over most of England had met your ancestors, they probably would have got along, and they probably would have gone like, oh, you got that tool. Let's see if we can grow that over here. And we wouldn't have known that sage came from America. Boats being what they are, I think that some people say that's cultural appropriation. And on some level, it is. Here we are in the United States, North America, sage grows really well. What I feel about it is that if I take a tool that is culturally not mine, then maybe if I buy it from people that are in fact Indigenous Americans, that is giving them business. And actually, that is what I do with with the sage that's in the store. I'm not sure about the stuff that's on my website, although they're pretty cool about it. I don't think it is imported from China. one reason I don't think so is because you can still buy it right now. So I think it is not important. But the point is, if you're dealing with tools and stuff and it's local, and it's stuff that's, I feel like even if you are using something that belongs to a different culture, if you acknowledge it, then it's not so bad. Does that make sense? And on top of that, I don't think it has the potential to really go wrong unless you light the house on fire with the sage when it comes to something like saging. I feel like there's a lot of, and with the deities and with things like that, it's like if somebody is, it's like it actually wasn't my ancestors, but other people, but when the Spaniards came over and they Christianized your ancestors, they wanted you to culturally appropriate their God, right? So, here's Jesus, come worship him. And not to say anything bad about people that are Christians. I mean, there are people that would say like, oh my God, that's, but basically the whole premise is, oh, you have a personal relationship with this deity. Okay. If you have a personal relationship with the deity such as Odin or the Morrigan or, name one of a host of the Pantheia that you could be, how on earth or not earth, how in the universe of possibilities is that really culturally appropriating it? Because you are in that relationship with a deity. It doesn't really matter to you what it is. It's like I have cats. There are black cats. I've had white cats. I've had striped cats. I've had hairy, fuzzy cats and not as fuzzy cats. Every one of those relationships that I have that feels good, and that I have loved all of these different critters, and I also have birds. It's that relationship that I have with that one little animal, even if it's not my, familiar or whatever. I have a relationship. And so I feel like that if something didn't want me to have that relationship with it, I probably wouldn't have that relationship. Does that make sense? There are going to be people that disagree with me or with you.
There are definitely the people that disagree. And I mean, I've personally heard stories. Thankfully, I was not involved in any of that. But
I've had online fights with people about this.
I mean, there's been stuff online. There's also been stuff at some of the events that we've held for the pagan community, where it's you have these people that are like in any religion. Honestly, if you think about it, you have the extremists.
Oh yes, you do.
That come in, and they absolutely love to badger anybody who's not of the culture, and says, "Hey, no, you're not of our skin color. You have no right to be here." So it does happen. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. Now, is the concept of that, and here's where we go into like where it goes wrong. Is the concept really over the top? Does it have some validation? Where does that stand? Because I mean, okay, if you think about the word in particular, shaman, that is a very, very touchy subject, because I mean, you have different elements of shamanism.
There's different types of shamans.
Exactly. You have that archetype of like the old man leading, maybe not necessarily leading the tribe, but he's the one that is the sage, the one that people go to. Okay, there's that stereotype. It's always the old man. Can it be an older woman who is more advanced, more intelligent? Can she be a shaman? Yes. I mean, it depends on the definition. Now, where it gets muddled, you have so many other people coming in from different cultures, um, and they throw that around. They take a few courses here, take a few courses there. They go to the Yucatan. They go over here, over there. All of a sudden, they want to consider themselves shamans.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's kind of questionable.
That is
I
questionable. That
I
is
feel
questionable.
that's about where I mean, if you're purporting to say that you're a shaman of a certain tribe, you better have studied it for a long ass time. And that's where you need to get permission. Now, if
Hmm.
that's where I feel like, for instance, I'll teach somebody how to use sage. I don't complain. I don't say to somebody, I'm Native American, and this is how you, because I'm not Native American. Technically, like if I have any, it didn't show up in my DNA analysis because I was really curious at one point. But if I say these are the things you do, I don't claim to be a shaman. I think if you're going to claim to be a shaman, you better know a whole lot more than I know, and I've been studying this stuff for a while.
And the thing that comes with being a shaman is that you're not flawless, and that part of that is like accepting the fact that you are not flawless, but also understanding that are enveloping you're enveloping an entire race, an entire tribe, an entire culture into this practice that you're barely stepping into. So,
And I want to mention we have a garage goblin with us.
yay, our garage goblin is in. Thank you so much for
Hi.
joining us. So, hi.
Hello. I have a few questions, and it's just to make sure like we're still like on schedule because as the times are and the official garage goblin, like I gotta go do what I gotta do. Um. So like, what does cultural appropriation look like versus like when someone is trying to go walk into a culture and like go embrace it?
The difference there. Okay, so you said you had several questions. That's one. What else you got?
Um. When someone tries to go do like a ritual and
Mhm.
tries to do a land acknowledgement, like how do they actually do that and who they have to go ask?
That is an absolutely wonderful question. We are going to get into that. We do have an example of land acknowledgements. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
difference is, I'm really glad you asked it. The difference between accepting culture and actually using culture appropriation is kind of like exactly what we were talking about, where it's like uh, you can accept the teachings, the characteristics, the traditions of a culture when you can make that part of yourself, discuss those characteristics with a person, with an elder, if you can, about what those characteristics are. And you can immerse yourself in that
Mm-hmm.
and be accepted in the culture. That is different from, and I hate to use this example, but it is the biggest example that we see going to the nearest costume shop and buying a quote unquote Indian headdress and using
Ill,
that as a
Yeah.
costume,
Yeah.
which is horrendous.
ill.
When you were talking about
One ill,
using
two
sage,
ill, and three ill. No,
What?
yeah,
I said one ill, two ill, and three ill.
Ew.
exactly. So,
Yeah, I can
um,
remember like parades when they had like when we were kids and they had the chiefs and all that come, and there were a lot of kids and that. I
they
mean,
they still do,
they
they
still
still do,
do.
and it's horrible.
It's really, yeah, it's really. I mean, kids are cute, whatever they do, but it's not really cool. That's not
Kids
teaching.
kids are cute. Kids are cuter when they are educated on as to what they are doing.
I agree.
So
I agree. It's
Okay.
better when they're not,
So that brings me to the question 2.
Okay.
Which I already said.
Which you want to say that again, because I kind of went into that like, okay, this is the difference. So
I said
yes.
one, like, what is the difference between like being realistic versus like
Yes.
actually walking into a place
Right.
and having like it is the difference between like walking into a drum circle in which like you are being embraced
Mhm.
and like someone just trying to go artifice it and just trying to like go do the thing. Nobody wants that. We're not doing that.
Right.
Let me give an example. I play the piano. I'm not capable really of teaching the piano because my skill set is not so tremendous that I would make a really good piano teacher overall, because I play it. I probably don't remember a lot of the things that I would need to do to teach it. I also wouldn't try to play in a concert hall because I'm simply not that good. But there are people that are that skilled, and well, they should do either of those things. It's the same when you're dealing with being a shaman. Like, there are things that I am comfortable teaching, and there are things that I would be, no, you want to teach Reiki, teach Reiki. There's a lot of Reiki teachers in the world that they can barely generate energy in their hands to do it. And Reiki is culturally from Japan. I do have some good people that practice it at my store. But let me tell you the difference between when I had it done to me at a show by a group of students who were from Japan and completely trained. I passed a kidney stone in 24 hours.
Oh my goodness.
It was horrible. I had a choice of being home and being in pain or being in a show in Florida. It wasn't the best place to pass it, in a hotel room in Florida, but when I came home, it's gone. And it was absolutely that did it. And I could feel it from a foot away. Now I have people they're pretty good, and you can definitely feel it. And I'm more open to it now than I was. But these were complete. I could feel them. I knew what they were doing. I thought, I'm not going to feel this. And I could absolutely feel it in a public place. There are people that know how to do something, that are trained. It's sanctioned, so to speak. It's like the Catholic Church saying, if you don't have the approval of the diocese, you can't do an exorcism. There are things you need that group energy to come down to you with, so that you really have that permission to work with an energy, to be part of that energy. And if you are in that space, it's going to work better. It's better. And then you're not appropriating it because you have what? Consent. Right?
Yes. You have enthusiastic consent.
It's like a teacher getting teaching credentials.
Yes.
Not everybody that flashes a badge ought to have a badge, but at least they have the authority, right? You need the authority, and and so if you're just going into a culture and going like, I want to put up a teepee in my backyard and run around like a toy Indian that we did when you were 12 years old, and it was appropriate to play, cowboys and Indians. In my age group, kids did that still. I'd like to say that doesn't happen now, Ginger. I would like to say it doesn't happen, but it probably still does in parts of the US. And, one is a very immature representation of what a culture does. And the other is local group of Native Americans building a sweat lodge. You go to their sweat lodge, they teach you some of the rituals, and you come out and you feel better.
Okay.
There's a
So
big
my next question is for Joe, and that is, when I want to go do, let's say, saging, like anything to like go clear the house.
Mhm.
And I am buying stuff from people who are identifying as Native American, Indigenous, all those good things. Like
Mhm.
how to make sure like I'm not offending them, like if I go sage the house, because like I feel like if it is Indigenous bought, then like it's already like allowed in the house. So
I mean, so okay, so I mean, you kind of partially answered that question, but also, I mean, when you say that these people identify as indigenous, it's good to actually take the time and not invasively ask the question, but like kind of ask them, like, oh, okay, how do you usually use this? What would be
I mean,
okay for me to
not
do?
only do how I go use it, but also I want to go make sure that when it is being used, I'm doing it appropriately. And I want to go make sure that, like, if I'm cleansing the house,
Hmm.
that I'll have a way to go do it. And I feel like all of this, all of this means that, like, I'm okay because one, like, I bought it from the indigenous community, and two, I am doing my best to go make sure that everyone feels like we're both like on par, like on the level. So
So you're trying to make sure that like these people and their ancestors are honored when you're doing this,
yeah.
correct? But at the same time, you want to actually like cleanse your own home. Um, Once again, it's important to ask them if they're selling it to you, if they're indigenous.
Hmm.
Okay, asking them just take, and it could basically like really take just like a 2 minute conversation. Ask them, what is the best way? How do you do this traditionally? And how may I work my own process to make sure that I'm honoring your people, that I'm honoring where this comes from, honoring where you
Hmm.
come from, because that is really the biggest thing next to like you actually cleansing your home. Of course, you want to make sure that it actually works. The ones that are going to know are the ones that are actually selling it to you. Hopefully, if they are who they say they are.
And
So,
I want to add
um,
to this just a tiny bit
yes.
too. But go ahead. I should probably let you finish.
Um, I mean that's generally going to be like your best wealth of knowledge right there, because honestly, the ones that are going to know and the ones who are going to have that authority on medicinal herbs, medicinal magic, are going to be the ones that actually live within the culture and the ones who learned from the ancestors before that. So,
So what
best
you're
thing
telling me
again,
is that like eventually we're gonna have like an autumnal type of soup that we're gonna go make like a simmering pot, and we're gonna go make it together. Yeah, Joe. We're gonna do more kitchen
yes,
witchery. Please and
we can
thank
do
you.
more kitchen witchery, and we can actually talk about like what ingredients would be best
I
for
just want to do a
particular.
simmering pop. Oh my god.
What I want to add too is that if you're going and you're buying sage at a metaphysical store,
Mhm.
something like my store or on my website or in a place like mine, it is very likely that we probably are buying it in bulk.
Mhm.
And we're probably most of us, unless it's a really commercial kind of site, don't buy it. I guess you probably could get it at Target, and in which case it's probably coming from China. And it's kind of like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, I
Yes.
mean, I'm,
Don't buy
I'm
it from
pretty sure
China.
some sage comes from China. I don't think that any of the sage that I get is imported from China. And, I'm really sure that I know where I've talked on the phone with the people that I get my bulk sage from. And so,
That's okay.
I mean, I know that they're okay with me using it, but one thing, I used to carry sweetgrass, and when this particular site carries sweetgrass, then I buy it. When they don't offer it, I don't buy it. I would probably buy sweetgrass if I knew the person that was selling it. I'm not sure at this point if I'm going to resell it. It would depend on, whether I felt real good about the source, and because sweetgrass it's a little more like tricky. You want to get it from like actual fresh soil, and you want it done correctly. And so I have sweetgrass at my house, but I haven't been selling it here at the shop for quite a while. And I don't know if I have. I should probably look to see if I have sweetgrass on my site. I don't know that I do.
And there's
I do have
right
I do carry it in with sage, and I do carry some sweetgrass braids, but I also know that the site that I get it from online, I know that their sources are really good, and they're not like, let's buy it from China. I mean, so I feel good about that. I don't get my online stuff from the same place that I get my store stuff. So if I'm going to carry it in the store, because I personally have more of a hand in it, like we kind of almost have to put it on our online source, but but I feel less good about that than sage. Like I don't use it as much.
See, I know that there are some shops that sell like the bundles. They sell the sage with the sweetgrass with like the incense. When they sell that all together as like a kit, if you look carefully at the fine print, that'll tell you exactly where that came from.
Yeah, it does.
So
and you'll know.
That's important. That is really important because that'll tell you, and I hate to put it this way, but it'll tell you the integrity of the product, just like it tells you the integrity of the shop that sells it. That'll tell you, are they actually going with someone who's like reliable, somebody who is actually authentic and growing it at the source or collecting it from the source, or are they buying it commercially from somewhere else overseas just to make a buck? So that's important. If you can find that fine print, that'll tell you.
Hold on, I didn't have a formal introduction. I feel very sad right now.
Oh, Garage Goblin.
This is our Garage Goblin finally making an official appearance. Yay! Yes.
He's our time clock.
He's been working behind the scenes. So, yes.
Yes, like I'm the time czar, and I make everything terrible for everybody. So
no, she's actually awesome.
No, you are amazing.
Stuff for us in the background, and
she does keep us in line. For example, she has been the one to remind us that we have about maybe 7 minutes left on this cast. So,
let's
go ahead and keep on going.
We're trying to.
I didn't feel very good today, but I decided to like go do the thing because I'm gonna go like push on because we are what we are.
We're really trying to keep the episodes a little shorter so people can last until the end. Although I was
want to make it a little bit shorter this time. So yeah.
Yeah. I was a little surprised at the stats that they're definitely a lot of people are watching until the end. So
and here's the thing. Here's the thing. In keeping with our theme today, in keeping with our theme of cultural appropriation and how it works with cultures, I am really honored. I love the fact that I am integrated in this culture, in this practice that allows these two right here to be like the ultimate authorities. These are the
Korean heart. Korean heart.
Right
here.
There you go.
That's all you got.
I'm just the middle guy, but these two right here just embody the power of the goddess.
Hey, it's a balance.
So,
You know?
Literally,
yes.
we're trying to go
My
defend the
goodness.
honeymoon. So there you go.
Fine. I don't know how to do that. You're the goddess. You know how to do that. So
Yeah, and then there,
fact-
and then move it up, and then the honeymoon.
see, the fact that I am now involved in a circle in a religion that empowers women is the most fulfilling thing for me.
Okay. Well, that leaves like
I
one
have
more
to do this.
question,
I have
and
to do
literally
this.
it's a short answer.
What's
So,
that?
Question.
Yes.
like, if we do like sacred drumming, like let's say we have a drum circle,
Mhm.
what is appropriate for people who are not indigenous and do not have the rights to most things in the indigenous community to just like go do like a prayer, a cast, a what is it called when like a whole bunch of people decide to go like send up like light and love and everything else in between? Like when they're in a
What?
drum circle?
Well, okay. So basically it's a working right of some kind. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, but
Well, we've had quite a few of them there at Avalon Visions.
yeah.
So yeah, I
And
remember.
so here's the thing. If you're invited,
Mm-hmm.
if you show up and people say, "Hey, come on in," you're invited and you're part of that community. Um, I want to say something about my friend Don Schultz who makes drums. And
Yes.
Don Schultz he's
Yes.
awesome. Love Don. Don told me one time that he went to a big powwow meeting thingy, and he was selling his drums, which are absolutely fantastic. And he does workshops here. And he went and he didn't realize that it was all Native American. And he's not a Native American. He's, kind of a white guy. He's as white as I am, if not whiter. And what Don said is he went to the people that were
Hi, Don.
Hi, Don.
We're talking about you.
Yeah, he came to mind.
Hey, Don.
And what Don said was that he said, "Hey, I didn't realize it was only Native Americans." And his product is so good. They said, "No, we want you here. You're always welcome." Because if you're the consummate professional at something, other groups honor it. I mean, it's like, it's like this person is hobnobbing, and I'm happy for a reason because hobnobbing is a term.
Oh, Don is very professional in his field, and I could not think of like a better drum maker. Literally, I've worked with him, and I feel very bad because literally he gave me the thing to like go like cut out like the holes for the drums, and everything was fine until like I hit like metal on the table, and I was like, "Oh no!" He's like, "Shh, we got this. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Don, and I know that Don, and we all know Don, is that
You do.
if he doesn't say I'm Native American, he says I make drums, and his drums could be Celtic. They could be. I mean, he's making something that is across many cultures. Who started drumming? I don't know.
Oh, of course.
And
And
nobody knows.
that's the greatest part about like his drum line, because literally they're like, well, is it like Slavic or Celtic or like, is it from Iceland? What's happening? And he's just like, no, it's just drums. It's just drums. And there is an entire narrative across the board that all of it like applies to. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's unapologetic about it, and it's beautiful, and I love it.
And that's where the practices like kind of come together. It's like, okay, that's the other question about like the culture. What is it okay to do when you have similarities that you're going to work with? You have people across the ocean making drums. You have people across the other ocean making drums. You have people here making drums.
And you have people that
side
sing.
figured out how to do it.
All
So
cultures sing.
it's that's where that concept of cultural appropriation kind of blurs a little bit, because you
Mhm.
have a common factor that can come together.
That's right.
So
Okay, I have
when
something
it
that's
works,
very
then
simple, but like very like diverse,
okay.
and it doesn't have to do with drums. Just like let's go with like chicken soup, right?
Oh, I love chicken soup.
Yes.
Chicken
Uh,
soup is like
yes.
the
Go
great
for it.
unifier because literally, like in Central America and South America, what do you have? Caldo de pollo.
Caldo
And
de
there's
pollo.
chickens on almost
Yes.
every culture
Right.
and
Yeah.
almost every continent.
You go to like Europe and they have different versions of chicken soup. Like you go to Eastern Europe, you go to Poland, and they have rosso. Okay.
Mhm.
There's
You go to Africa and like literally they have like chicken peanut soup.
well, then, yeah, and sometimes they leave off the peanuts for people like me.
No,
But
but I mean,
you can go to you can
you can
get
even go to places like,
Chinese food has chicken soup because
yeah,
it's
I mean, the great equalizer
yeah, yeah.
here is that like there is a version of chicken soup in every single culture. Like even in
Yep,
indigenous culture, there
yes.
is a chicken soup, and
I guarantee
usually is
you.
a ground nut soup. And
Yep.
Mhm.
Joe, go
Go
ahead.
on. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You go ahead. Finish, please. Yeah,
Usually there is like a ground nut soup when it comes to like indigenous culture because like that is what they grew up on. That is what they have like to go help them. Like when you're sick, when you're tired, all of it. All of it. Just
Mhm. So the importance is finding the commonalities between the cultures and saying,
mhm.
"Oh, you guys can do this, but we do it this way." I mean, what I was going to say is, I guarantee, even in Hungary, Transylvania, you're going to have a specific chicken soup. Yeah, it's full of garlic because you want to keep against those damn vampires. So, but it's there. But it's there. You're going to have some form of chicken soup, and it's going to be delicious. So,
I mean, I
um,
have a recipe from
nothing impossible.
1533, but like it's the harvester chicken and it is what it is. But my point being, like, there's commonality, as you said, like across the
Exactly.
board. And
Yeah.
that is the difference between like appropriation and appreciation. So,
Hmm.
And you can have some appreciation and some appropriation all wrapped up into one thing. But the difference is if you don't want to be appropriating something, you don't go like, this is my thing. When I have Palo Santo, although I kind of recommend selling the sage first because sage is so much more abundant. But I know that some things work better with Palo Santo. Some things
Hmm.
clear out better with Palo Santo. And to me, it is a tool to be used that helps people. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, if I sell this to somebody because they need it, this is something that they need to be able to use, then I'm using this to help them. I'm not saying I'm from that neck of the woods and I actually know what I'm doing with the Palo Santo. I probably do. But I do feel that it is important that people have tools to use. Now, difference between a tool and taking somebody on a retreat to learn the Native American ways, and you're not Native American, is who taught you, right? You know, I mean, did somebody say, we want you to bring people here and we want you to pass this knowledge on, in which case you have some authority. But if you've got nothing and you're like, I'm going to keep tell the culture. I'm I'm a generation and a half out. It's an ocean away and a continent away, depending either a continent, an ocean, or an ocean and a continent, to get to where my ancestors are for the most part from. And I am not going to teach that. I'm going to teach people how to use the things that are here in my neck of the woods and a little bit about the stuff, and give them the ability that if they want to go and seek out more information, they can find a book at my store. I'm not saying I'm the shaman. I'm the goddess. Only I can solve your problems. It's starting to sound like Donald Trump that way.
I know you sound like.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
No, you sound like half the people that are on the Mexican channels my dad watches. Literally every commercial break, there's like 3 or 4 little clowns that are saying, well, oh, you had some witchcraft worked on you. Only I can save you. Oh, you had some work done. Listen, for $3, you can buy this candle, and I'm going to imbue it with everything. I'm going to make sure that you are completely clear of it. Oh, my God.
Okay,
No.
Joe,
so,
I
yes.
need you to go hear me. Okay, so
Yes.
literally, I have been invited to powwows. I am as white as cheesecake. Literally, if I got any more rich or white, like I would be cheesecake. It is a thing.
You're the
pretty
sponge.
white.
What that
Having
means?
met you, I know that is true.
Yes.
You might be
your
whiter
words
than
on
me.
that. So.
But like I have been invited to a whole bunch of like indigenous communities.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I'm not saying this as like the pick me Karen. I am saying this as in like literally I am willing to go dive deep into the culture and to go understand what is going on and go understand like what we're doing.
Mhm.
And so I'm telling you, like there have been a series of powwows in which like I have been invited because
Well, you should go.
literally I am trying to go understand the culture. I am trying to go understand what is going on.
That's good. I did go to powwows when I was younger, and I was invited
I
to
have
go.
yet to attend to one, and I'm actually indigenous.
You know,
Hello, any indigenous
there
people?
was a
I'm
big
here.
community here in this area that did put on powwows, and they were Native American, and I went to a bunch of those. I was probably in my 20s at the time. And there was also like a sweat lodge thing. And I remember when my mom was dying of cancer that I took her to one, and she actually died without pain. She was in pain before that, but the pain kind of ebbed after that. And I do think it had something to do with that. And they did like a whole peyote thing, and she had some peyote. My mom, the librarian, had peyote. But my point is, it was actually run by Native Americans. It wasn't run by some white chick or, white dude that wanted to be something that he wasn't. And I got to learn a lot and to very much respect a lot of what was going on. Nobody is perfect. There's no culture that is without its own troubles, but there is a lot of positives that you can receive from learning about cultures that are around you that you're not technically a part of. And if you are invited to something like that, I think you should go. I mean,
Absolutely. If you are invited, then just go because literally there is so much diverse education that you're going to go pick up on that literally every time like you go look it up in like standard libraries, it's not going to be there because they have tried to go trample on indigenous culture and indigenous history. It is what it is.
Yeah, reading about it is one thing. Reading about it is one thing. Being involved in it is something else completely.
Oh, absolutely. And that history and that culture means everything to me.
You can't. I can't. Maybe someone else can, but I can't say to myself, I know what someone else's experiences are because I know them and I've talked to them for 2 hours or I've sat through a seminar. I don't know what our garage goblin thing. I don't know what our garage goblin experiences. She's a lot younger than me, and you know, her life experience is different. So how am I going to claim her life experience as my own?
I mean, I can go tell you right now, like last time I got invited to a powwow, like I was just absolutely like over the moon that like I was even invited.
I haven't gone to one in a long time, mostly because I don't have time. I've been invited to a number of spiral dances, and again, I haven't gone because I mostly don't have time to go. One of the things that when I eventually retire, I am very much looking forward to doing is maybe going to some more things along those lines. But because then I'll have a little, I mean, I'm not retiring anytime soon, but
No, I understand.
I do, and I will eventually. Hopefully, I'll live long enough to enjoy part of that time. But you know, when I do, I will. I hope that I'll go to more of those events because you're always going to take something with you, and hopefully, you give something of yourself to go to these things.
Oh yeah,
You can't just
absolutely.
go,
Yes.
oh, give me all your information, and then you know, I'm now going to charge $800 to pass this download of information to you.
Okay,
Yep.
but like both of you, like I can go take you to like the next thing I get invited, and we're gonna go like drum circle because I'm telling you right now, like I have been targeted and marketed to because apparently like I can do like the back drums while they're doing the front drums,
That's
which I
great.
know doesn't mean anything to like anybody, but
Well,
literally that just means I'm doing the back beats.
Some people drum better.
yeah. That's different from, and I'm actually really glad that you brought up that point. That's one thing that I really want to cover really super quick. It's different when you are invited from or invited by a person who's actually immersed in the culture versus somebody who, uh, for example, this is an extreme example again of how it can go wrong. When you are trusting, putting your faith in somebody, say, for example, if you want to go through this spiritual journey of ayahuasca,
Don't do that.
when you're gonna go through the spiritual journey using this psychedelic, using this substance, when you're gonna go through that, it is generally a safer practice to go. I mean, if you travel all the way down to Peru or anywhere down there, where that's actually a general thing.
You better have someone who
Right?
knows how to guide you through something
Well,
like
yeah.
that. You're
Just,
gonna get yourself.
here's the thing. Here's where that narrative of, oh well, they're a different color skin. That's where it actually comes into play in a positive way. When you have somebody from the land, from the culture that is leading you through this journey, through ayahuasca, through like all the psychedelics, that is 100 times safer than Chloe from Berkeley up there, who's like
Did you know
been
there's
through
a
it
hundred and
once,
fifty
and
thousand
she's like
dollar like
totally the valley
course in
girl
which like
who's
you
going to
go
do it
spend like 2 days?
now. It's just so much safer.
Did
So
you
you
know
want
there is
to
a
know who
hundred
to
and
trust.
$50,000 course in which you spend like 2 days prepping for the ayahuasca, by which I mean
Exactly.
like literally you have to be on a vegan diet and nothing else. Literally you're on water and vegetables.
Okay.
And
So
then
And that depends
you go into it
on the teacher.
I mean,
and for
honestly,
2 weeks, like literally they are leading you through a journey, like through ayahuasca, and they're giving you like microdoses that are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as you go.
Hmm.
as you could tolerate them, yes.
Yep.
I had a friend who had a lot of troubles. Um, that you know, he had a lot of issues, and he wound up in. And I grew up with this person, and I'm not naming names. They may never see this, but they went through a lot of had a lot of problems, and he hit rock bottom a couple of times, and he finally, I don't remember if it was a ayahuasca, it might have been ayahuasca, but it was a ceremony along those lines using some of the native products. And he had to travel, and he was gone for 2 weeks, and he said it was cathartic. We all worried that he's going to come back okay, or is he going to come back damaged. He said it changed him, because he did it the way it's supposed to be done. If you're going through you're doing your soul quest thing, and he was in his like late 50s when he did it, and the thing about it is, when you do something correctly, and again, it's like learning Reiki correctly. There are good teachers out there, and there's people that just don't shit. I'll teach, and I will be. I have taught, and I will again teach energetic hands-on healing, how to channel energy and through it. But what I won't do is say I'm teaching you Reiki, because I've long since forgotten the symbols. And that's not how I started, and that's not the thing that comes natural to me. So what I do, I do, and eventually I'll teach it again. But I'm not going to call it one thing and then present something else. Right. Some people go like,
no, that makes sense, because everyone has their calling, and if you're not into the thing, or if you're not fully tuned into the thing, then you can't go do the thing.
That's correct. And with things like with things along the lines of learning something, or being pulled into a drum circle, or being pulled into certain cultural things, if you are somebody that has been invited, and you're participating in the in whatever it is that they're offering, and they tell you, you know what, you're so good at this, so this is really your calling, and you could be somebody that I kind of believe in reincarnation. You could be a reincarnation of somebody.
No, absolutely.
And they're therefore reawakening your spirit memories, and you're a part of it. Now, one thing that I want to squeeze this in, because we're up on that hour time, but I want to squeeze this in. There were a lot of people on this continent before people that looked like me arrived. And there weren't too many of us that arrived all at one time, but then I'm seeing, a lot of people. And a lot of people didn't make it. I mean, I know that my culture passed out blankets with smallpox on it to just wipe out the population. Gee, wasn't that nice? So there were a lot of bad people that wiped out a lot of indigenous people, and it was done in Europe. Was the Romans marched farther north?
Yes, absolutely.
Did it go on? The other direction. I mean, Attila the Hun did it. I mean, it's a thing, right? You take
literally. I have to go ask Joe like every day. I was like, I have this. Is this okay? Can I go have this? Yeah. Like I don't know where this was found, but please, you go do for me. Go tell me. And Joe's just like, I don't know where that came from.
Well, I mean,
all I know, like, that came from the dirt.
Yourself, but my point is that if you think about, we're choosing. I think there's a bit of a choice. We're choosing where we're born. The spirits are coming in, and even though I'm white and I don't have it in my DNA, I'd like to place a bet that I have been Native American in the past. I can't prove it. I'm pretty sure that I was German. I'm pretty sure that I've been, I don't think I was Queen of the Nile, but I mean,
I'm telling you that, like, I didn't choose it, but like apparently I was put in as cheesecake. So here we go.
Could be cheesecake. I mean, I have an affiliation for cats. Perhaps I was Sekhmet.
Now here's an interesting thing. I will not show it on the camera, on screen. Here's the thing that people are not aware of. They're not even aware that I have it, but I'm going to share it here. because once again, it's the example of how consent is important.
Mhm.
Consent is super important.
Consent
So,
is super important, yes. So I happen to be in possession of one thing that is absolutely secret and almost forbidden to have.
Eagle feather.
That is an eagle feather.
I got it right. Sorry.
Exactly. I am in possession of an eagle feather. That eagle feather was presented to me in nature as I was simply taking a walk in
Mhm.
Alaska. Now, according to the laws, those are not allowed under any circumstances, except one, to be possessed because that is such a treasured,
Mhm.
yes, because that is such a treasured item, because that is a sacred animal.
Mhm.
no, no,
Now,
no. Like, I'm doing the finger because literally there's one rule, and that is like, unless you find it like under natural causes, like you can't have it. Yeah?
no, that's not
He
it.
said, no, you
If
can't have it.
if that is gifted to you from an indigenous person
Then
in
you
power,
have it. Mhm.
Oh my
in
goodness.
power, that means a leader of the any particular tribe,
Yep.
then only then are you
Well,
allowed
I
to
didn't
keep
know
it.
that. Thank you.
So
Yep.
it took me a while. It took me at least two different tries from two different tribes. Now, thankfully, and this will bring us back to the last point in our discussion today, which is where we do the land acknowledgements.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes, I have
I reached
questions. I have
out.
questions. You have to wait. I
All
have
right, so I
questions.
reached.
One,
Hang on.
what is the land acknowledgement? Two, like, how do we go do it? And three, how to go make sure like it actually is what we need
That
it to be?
that's actually going to be our last point here. I promise.
Yay!
So so um, to finish up the story with the feather, like I said, I will not show it here, but I actually own one. I actually own an eagle feather. I had to go through two different avenues.
Uh-huh.
One person was not fully connected to the tribesmen, to the ancestors. Therefore, he could not actually grant me that permission, even though we are really close as brothers. It doesn't matter how close we are. The next person who is actually a leader of the Olone people there in Santa Cruz, around that area, she is a personal friend of mine. She actually did grant me that permission to have that. And her words exactly were, that feather came to you when you needed it.
Mhm.
That feather came to you at a point where it was the most important, it was significant. Therefore, you are granted permission to keep that.
Okay.
So,
And I
um,
want to say a quick little
yes,
story because it's really important. Sometimes, if you find something, you should pick it up. Um, we had rescued a spotted owl. It
mhm,
went it went to the rescue, and for a while
right,
after that time, when I was a kid, this I was finding spotted owl feathers. And one
mhm,
time I was in a bathroom that had an opening to the outside. It was like up in north of Drake's Bay in San Francisco. And I was a kid. And I went into the bathroom and I had to get like jam off my hands. So I washed my hands and then went to the bathroom. And I came out and right where I had been standing, like literally almost on the knobs of the faucets that I had just turned,
mhm.
where there was nobody in that bathroom, was a spotted owl feather. There are some things that are just undeniably meant for you to
Exactly.
have.
Yes.
And at that point, and at that point, no matter what, you are supposed to have that. And unless it feels really weird and creepy, and then you don't take that because it's not meant to. That's not the right thing. And we could get into finding bones places and all that kind of thing. If there is something that you're supposed to have, it's going to feel like a gift. You're gonna have this calm with it, and that is what I had, and I have that spotted owl feather to this day. So,
Okay.
I mean,
So micro story. Literally, there was a barn owl that decided to go like visit me while I was here, and like it's from a farm that has like a whole bunch of like goats and cows and horses and everything else in between.
barns are great.
And so, literally, like the bathroom that I use, like there isn't like a fan vent to like go take out like all the steam. But like if I go like open the window, it's a thing. And one of the barn owls just like sat there and just looked at me and just like, duh, duh, duh.
Yeah, they're good. They'll do stuff like that. I got 2 parrots. They squawk at me a lot.
Mhm. And so while I was taking a shower, I had an owl just like absolutely watching me. And I thought it was really funny because I'm just like, I'm trying to go shower. What are you doing?
All the way around.
And I had an owl like trying to go watch me. I was like, shh, go away. Please go away. Like, I'm trying to go like make sure like I'm all clean. It's just like, that. And apparently, this owl is very well known and goes around like the entire house that I'm in and just like goes around like where every time there's a screen. Like he just sits there, he's just like, I'm watching you.
He probably knows you're in there, and he probably would like it if you give him food. He's probably somebody's fed him at some point. Yeah.
He's waiting for some kind of friendly contribution.
Yeah,
I gave him peas. I gave him peas, and that's enough. Okay, that's enough of this story. Please go back to what you were saying.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
my listen, the way that I came across that eagle feather is not so hilarious. It's honestly, for those of you who may have seen that movie, The Sword and the Stone, towards the end, you know where Arthur, or the ward as he's called, where he comes across the sword that's like, you've got that incredible ray of sunshine that's just like, yeah, you've got that incredible ray of sunshine that's just falling on the sword right there in the graveyard. Literally, that is how I came across that eagle feather. I was on a hike.
Okay. Do you see my face? Do you see how incredulous I look?
What's that?
Do you see my face? Do you see how incredulous I look?
Yes. So, literally, that is how I came across that feather. I was on a hike, turned over to my right, and literally, like in this clearing, in the forest, there is one like really big bush that has like some sunlight coming through it on top of it, and right on top of that bush is that eagle feather. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Holy hell, there's no way that is not meant for me to actually have. So
it was meant for you.
Even then,
acknowledge it.
So even then, like even to bring it back around, when you have these incredible items, when you have these gifts, it is still important to ask permission. Even if you're just
so we gotta go like tighten this up because as times are, like I'm telling you right now, like we're way over
my reusable.
That's correct. So once again, consent is sexy. Consent is important. So, Gwen, what do you have for us to wrap this up as far as the stone of the week?
Well, always empowering myself to combat weird glitches and negativity. I have.
We'll talk about that next week because there wasn't a particular incident that happened. Yes. So.
Yeah, and I'm no longer in a broom closet. In case anybody wants to know. See this? Whoopsie! I just dropped it. That's Jet.
Okay, I'm seeing obsidian, and okay.
You're seeing something that looks a lot like obsidian, but it's jet. And the difference between and it's flying out of my hand. It's now flying out of my
Okay, so black stone equals protection. Got it.
Black stones, not all black stones, but jet is very specific. Jet is a very lightweight stone, unlike some of the other stones. Jet is sort of like very hard charcoal. It's they're not particularly rare, but they almost feel like plastic. It's called ignite. It's a mineral like stone. It's organic, like amber is organic, pearl or coral is organic, and it's actually a mineraloid. Okay, and so it's solid. It's not as hard as some of the other stones that it's but what it does, which is unlike it's similar, but it is something that is it helps with fears. It helps.
So it's more like absorption. It kind of helps you really absorb that.
But it also, if you go to this lovely source book,
which you have scotch taped to death.
Oh, it's better than that. This is our store copy. It's like scotch tape. It's actually packing tape. And if I was looking at this here, you can see that it helps with finances. It's something that is said to be. It's.
I was told this also helps with finances. I don't know. Like this is green averagine.
Oh, it's green aventurine. It's like no, that's good for finances. This is also Jet's also, because it's organic, it helps with mood. I believe that they say it's called ignite also because it's like extremely hard charcoal. It's like it continues on, it's coal-like, so it's like
okay. That doesn't sound very appetizing, so I don't know how to go feel about that, but okay.
It's actually a really cool story, and
it's just like super light, so it works more.
And so like if you didn't want to, like if you wanted to wear something like onyx, and but you wanted to just not have that weight, jet is a good, like it's lighter, like it does feel kind of like plastic, and I want to see if you can see this here. It's sort of, you can see it shears off. It's a little, it has kind of like a little surfacey area.
It's like a raven. Okay. I got it. It's like a raven where like the feathers aren't necessarily black. Like they have like placards of like color all throughout them.
And it's not sharp like obsidian because it's not really volcanic. Well, I mean, I don't know that it isn't volcanic, but it's it's charcoal. So I think that it's a really good stone for protection, and it's so light you can put it in your pocket.
Okay, so where can we go find it on the store online?
You can definitely find it on the store online, and I want to note that my online store is being moved from one server to another. It is still functional, but you have to break it past your firewall at the moment, so you might get an HTTPS error. But it's moving on. I think it's moving on Tuesday back to GoDaddy, like because my the server did a thingy, it glitched it. So anyway.
Okay, give me a second. I got to go fix this because literally like I have a
little poofy thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going
I'm
this
sorry.
way,
I'm
but yeah,
better.
So
Everything's
basically,
better.
until then, until
you
that
can
side
still
actually gets
shop.
fixed,
You
the
can
best
still shop.
thing is to actually go down to the shop, go
And we have
down
a bunch
to
of little
Avalon
pieces of
Visions.
jet. Where we have a
So,
bunch of little pieces of jet. I think next week I might want to talk about shungite, which is another thing, which is another stone. And I have,
Oh, the one that you put in the water and like it helps purify it? That would be good.
did I give you a piece of shungite?
You did not give me a piece of shungite, but like I have heard all
that is
about
the story
shungite,
behind it,
Shungite's
though.
pretty cool
Yeah.
and I
too.
want
And
some.
they have shungite too, and it's another. I don't know if you would put jet in the water, but I mean, I don't think it would hurt you, but because it's charcoal based, charcoal in your water is good for stuff too. But this is, but I
It's
like
good for filtering. So like let's go start there.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
next week I want to talk about shungite and in a little more depth, maybe.
Okay.
So
All right, so that's going to do it for this week. Thank you guys again for checking in, for tuning in. If there's anything that you believe that we did not cover or anything that you believe that we should explore and just further and really go further in depth on, we'd really love for you guys to just hit those comments. Tell us what you guys want us to talk about. Hit those likes, hit that subscribe button. Uh, Preferably on YouTube because that'll really help us elevate everything. You guys can also find it on the Avalon Visions webpage. You can find us on Facebook. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Next week is going to be the 10 episode mark. So, yes, yay.
Everybody
Thank you
go do
guys.
a shush. Everybody go do a shush. Everybody go like and subscribe. We love you and we miss you and we want you to go continue on our journey, okay?
and
All
we're
right,
gonna
and
have fun.
let us know. Let us know what you guys think we should talk about next. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Ciao, ciao. And we're off.